Always love that piece of music. And welcome to episode 9 of Now What? Now I have to say it like John does. Oop, hang on. I have to say it like John does because if you notice, John is not here. It's kind of weird. I'm watching the opposite side. John is not here today. And to take his place for one night, I've asked one of our past guests, very good friend of John and a good friend of mine. Hang on. Where is he? There's his living room. I'd like to welcome Big Daddy Taz.
It's my shirt. It's the same color as the green screen.
I love that thing.
How are you?
Actually, one day I was playing with this thing just to try it, and I have my old green screen. It's just a big green cloth, and I had it wrapped around, but only my head was there.
Oh, yeah.
Looked like my head was just floating around. Yeah, pretty much.
Silliness. I like the fact you're standing here like this. You're going, I was playing with these, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on.
How was your week, Taz?
It's been good. It was a beautiful week here in Winnipeg. It was really cool, right? It was.
Can you believe this weather we're having?
I said really cool, but it was the exact opposite. It was beautiful out. I got a lot of outside time and got a lot of stuff done around the house. Had a few gigs, and then that's it. Yeah, now I'm here.
So we should explain why John is not here. I've talked to him. He said it's okay to let everybody know.
Okay, he's been, he's fled the country. No.
Yeah. He had a failure in his addictomy.
Well, you should have went there because then he would have had a dick with him. Anyway.
So John was diagnosed with some cancer on his liver.
Yes.
He was not quite stage 1, but they felt it was necessary to remove it. So on Thursday
remove the cancer, not the liver.
We're not sure yet.
Yeah. You gotta make sure.
No, but yeah, it is to remove the cancer. There was a couple of options to do it, and they did it the laparoscopy way. So
yes,
thankfully he will be. Yeah, they went in from 4 directions.
Yeah.
So you look like one of those potatoes you put on a bowl to see if you can grow.
I look like I'm a potato.
No, him.
I thought you said
one of those potatoes where you put the sticks in from the 4 directions.
Yeah, they go.
So the operation was a success, and with all luck, John will be back home Wednesday night or Thursday night, and with even more luck, he'll be good to go for our show on Sunday night next week.
That'll be perfect. You just prop him up like Weekend at Bernie's.
Well, that's what I was thinking. He'll be like a Muppet. It'll be like I'm doing a ventriloquist act.
Except for you should probably keep your hand away from the opening on the bottom of the Muppet is what I'm saying.
That's the worst part about being a Muppet is the hand up your ass.
Oh, hey, I wasn't going to go there.
You're allowed.
You go ahead, Mark.
The wonderful thing about this is I will be editing it and putting beeps in where needed for Shaw.
Push Shaw.
So, hey, what do you think about what happened down south?
It was like a movie. It looked like right. It was just it was a ridiculous thing to have the leader of the country, the leader of a country incite the riot. Well, it wasn't really a riot. I mean, people. It was a storming of a building. People lost their lives, and it was because the leader of a country said, here's what you should do, basically, right? I don't have much of an opinion. I don't have an opinion about Trump. I don't have an opinion about any that sort of thing as a human being, because I don't think he's much of a human being, to be honest with you.
Well, there's that, right?
It's my opinion, and I know other people are gonna come and because Facebook makes people very loud behind their keyboard, right?
That is so true. True. Yeah, but I mean,
I think it was just you. To be honest with you, I think it was disgraceful, and I think it was a long time coming. I think that the people said, "Oh, it was last minute," and I'm like, "It wasn't last minute." Guys had T-shirts made that say
he proved his colors.
Civil War is coming. January 6th is what they had T-shirts and hoodies that were made, right?
Yep.
And infected armpit hairs that had shirts that said, Camp Auschwitz staff and stuff like that. It was just, it was disgraceful and
deliberate.
I'm embarrassed for those people, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the funny thing, and it happened so fast. Literally, I was watching it. I came home for lunch, and I was watching them count. Went to work, put it up on my phone so I could kind of keep track of how they were doing it.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the washroom. Went to the washroom, came back. There's an insurrection happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell happened? So somebody took
and then Trump reading that speech. That was,
Yeah.
Here's what I thought. Here's what I find. Is that the leader of one of the largest factions in the free world got banned from Twitter. The president of the United States of America got banned from Twitter because he can't just be quiet. He can't. Everything that he said, even when he was telling people to go home, we all know we won by a landslide. We love you all. Thank you very much. And this isn't over. Well, yeah, but go home, right?
Yeah, it was kind of pathetic.
I did like the guy that was dressed up like some sort of woolly mammoth cross of an idiot. I don't know what that was supposed to be. He looked like he looked like he missed the. He looked like he missed the Fred Flintstone Lodge meeting by 2 doors, right? That guy.
One of the funniest things I saw on Facebook, somebody posted a picture of him and said, "How did the Duck Dynasty guy dressed as Chewbacca get to take over the country?"
Nah, it is what it is. Everybody has their own opinion about it. My opinion is that it was despicable, and I think it was. More so despicable because two of the most powerful men in the country, Giuliani was very powerful at one point in time.
Yep.
And then Trump's son were the catalyst behind that. I just think it's what it is. It's going to be people say, oh, it wasn't a riot, it wasn't this, it wasn't these weren't terrorists and stuff. I'm not putting any more. No matter what opinion you have, people will take it.
Yep.
And roll it around in some cat litter and try to tell you that it's chocolate, right? Yep. So whatever.
Absolutely. So going to a totally different thing to get away from American politics.
I like puppies. Oh no. I do.
Somebody showed me a picture on last week, and it was of an old advertisement. So they said maybe you should get some old inappropriate advertisements and show them and see what you find.
Well, everything. Sex sells. Everything was. Everything that's there. You should see the ad for WD-40. You should see the ad for Red Apple cigarettes. There's one.
Well, I found a lot of them were about cigarettes. Like Marlboro was a huge one, and Lucky's. So like there was this one here.
Yeah.
To help kill pain.
Yeah.
It was cocaine drops.
Yeah.
What is it? Adult. It's a movie. It's a movie about cocaine.
This is a movie called Cocaine. Yeah.
Yeah. Adult entertainment. This is before they had the R ratings. But here's.
There you go. That's what I was telling you. I was just telling you about Red Apple cigarettes.
Yeah. What's her name? Nurse Bonnie. Nurse Bonnie to keep thin. She has Red Apple.
Yep. When my auntie years ago, when I was a kid, when she was having some problems with her anxiety, the doctor prescribed smoking.
Yeah, that's weird.
The same doctor, by the way, that would see us we'd go to his office and he would smoke, and mom and dad would be there smoking.
With a smoke in his hand. Here's one of my favorites. Just one question, Mom. Can you afford not to smoke Marlboro? Oh my Lord! I mean, I don't know what's wrong.
What does it say at the very bottom there? I don't have my glasses.
It says, yes, you need never feel oversmoked. That's the miracle of Marlboro.
Yeah, that's the miracle of Marlboro, right? That's the miracle. That's the miracle of tar and nicotine, folks.
Yep.
Keep those, yeah, that's.
And then there was this one, like this one here. Let's take a step in the wrong direction. It's the
The Hindu animal. Yeah, the first time in America.
first time in America, black man Hindu animal hypnotist.
Blackaman.
Blackaman.
The other is Blackaman. It was his name. Yeah.
Was he real? Was that his name?
He was a real. If you look him up, yep.
That's hilarious. Wonder what he got there. He's alligator. You are a duck.
Yeah.
and then we get into I don't know what this is supposed to be.
That's the action zone.
The action zone pants.
That's exactly it. I haven't had the action zone 53. That action zone has moved.
Where's your action zone now?
It's most of the action is just me feeding myself. A man needs to wear pants of action. Sanzabelt, the only slack with a patented action zone. Even the dog looks impressed.
I know, eh?
Yeah, is that guy looks like he's I like that. That's it, and it's from Shempley's. Shempley's, like the most manly, the manly of places. Let's go to Shempley's.
Yeah,
would you be wearing action pants with Sanzabelt?
Yeah. And then there was this one here, and this is like let's. I
have a Van Helsing tie.
Yeah, but look at the old commercial, eh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure, it's a man's world.
That's perfectly it, right? And you know what? It must be a man's world. When you wear a tie to bed, it's a very formal event.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big arrow pointing to your action zone. That's what that is.
She's really not serving him. She's begging him to take the stupid tie off.
That's exactly it. And he goes to sleep with it, and that's later on. It doesn't have any fingerprints on it because it's made out of. She strangled him with it. That's what it is. That ties, like I said, that ties a big arrow pointing to your action zone. That's what that is.
She was wearing leather gloves.
I like those ties though; they're pretty cool.
Are they?
Oh, I'd love it.
Are they worth the money?
You know what? I'm sure I have. I've got Van Helsing ties here somewhere. I just don't have a neck, so I don't wear ties very much.
What? Your head just goes into your shoulders?
That's it. That's all it is. I'm like my son says I look like a snowman without the bottom part. Right? I'm just a head. Another round one. Snow. Well, I look. If you drew a picture of me, it'd be a circle and another bigger circle and two sticks. I look like the fraction 8/11.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. I'm a big round. Actually, what was I told? I'm apple shaped.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know, because I've gained.
I'm upside down apple shaped with a tiny little stem. What?
Unfortunately, I've gained a little bit of weight back, but it's all in my upper belly.
Your upper belly,
which makes me look weird.
No, it might be that hat.
No, the hat. I'm wearing this hat in honor of John because he bought it for me.
I'm just teasing you, buddy. You know that.
I know.
Here, I can have a fedora too if I give one of these, but then it wrecks the pork pie.
Yeah, you know, who was I talking to? I was talking about the right way to wear a hat. Like this is, I think I'm cool, but I'm an asshole. This is I don't know where I put my car.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where our first guest is. He's he's on his way. He just sent me a message saying he's on his way. Gator Bolio is going to be our first guest. He's on the Indigenous top 40 charts right now. With another artist. I can't remember the name of him.
If there was only an internet connection where you could Google something.
No, well, yeah, but I'll let him tell it. I'll just let him tell it.
Okay.
But, he's also going to sing us a song when he's on. He's just grabbing his guitar.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's actually got going on right now online. Not at this exact moment, but he's been doing this recently. Open mic. So if you got a guitar or if you sing or play an instrument, you can get on there and he'll give you the stage for a little bit. For his first night, I was up there. I sang a couple of songs.
That's very cool. You got a good voice, man.
I do.
You do. No, right. If it wasn't for you guys doing that, what would you guys? You did COVID karaoke or whatever. I would have never ever posted anything on there if it wasn't you guys.
Really? Well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
That's okay. I'm always be kind, buddy. It says here right on my shirt. Right? It says always be kind. Right.
Well,
there you go. It's on this side.
Yeah.
Other side. There you go.
Always be kind. And You know what? That's something that I've always tried to live by. When my grandfather or somebody I'm sure it's my grandfather, said, treat other people better than the way you want to be treated.
Yep.
You know, everybody always lives by the treat them the way you want to be treated. No, treat somebody better than the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
You know what? Then they've got something to live up to.
Well, you know, my rule is I tell this to the kids every day that I read. I say, it's easy to be kind to the people that are kind to you, but make sure that you're kind to the people that aren't kind to you, because that's how you're going to change things, right?
Yeah, and that's how we change the world. One little bit of kindness at a time to the people
Exactly, right?
who aren't feeling it themselves, right?
This green screen makes my house look like it's massive.
It does.
It makes my bathroom look huge.
The wonderful thing about the green screen is you can change it on the fly. So
I don't have a fly. I'm wearing sweats.
So I've got the infamous this.
Because how are you going to bleep that out for sure?
I'm just gonna jump right over it.
Oh, there you go. I don't have any other. I don't even have any. This is the green screen that was available in this app. I'll put some different stuff when you guys have me back again.
That's wonderful. But so I've got Paul. You remember Paul?
No.
You've never seen the movie Paul?
No.
Oh, watch the movie Paul. It's wonderful.
First, you have to get my name right. It's watch the movie Taz.
No, the name of the movie is Paul.
Oh, okay. There you
Taz.
Go.
Watch the movie Paul.
Oh, Paul, watch the movie Taz. You never know. You never know what's going to happen.
That's what we need. Okay, we've got our first guest here.
Perfect.
Hey.
Hello. Okay, hold on.
Always.
Hello.
There you go.
How's that?
Oh wait.
Is that better? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I was just getting a lot of echo coming out of my
headphones. Our co-host for tonight.
Gator,
Mr. Taz. Good, man. I'm a fan, actually.
Oh, thanks.
Right on.
I thought maybe you just looked at me and thought I was Fred Penner's heavier brother. That's all.
You wear your hat like an asshole, both of you. This is how you wear a hat.
Hang on. No.
I was hoping it was going to be the Hat Man show, but now I got some headphones. Just kidding. Right on. Thanks for having me. Sorry I was on Indian time there. Yeah.
It looked like we lost Gator for us, or we lost Gopher for us. It's a Gator, Gopher, and
I hit the wrong button for a moment. I was trying to change my green screen. I hit the wrong button.
That's okay. You're good at pressing buttons.
Right on. So how's it going? Oh, holy smoke! Hey, is that the Falcon?
That is the Falcon.
Hey, watch your language.
Oh.
The Falcon. You Falcon this and Falcon that here.
Oh, for the Falcon's sakes.
Yeah, that's right. So, hey, Gator, you were telling me that you have hit the Indigenous charts.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and like me, I cannot think of the other artist you collaborated with.
That's Billy Joe Green. That's the I consider him the the BB King of blues of Indigenous blues or whatnot.
There you go.
I'd hold him to that kind of a caliber. So,
well, that's cool.
But I've been a super fan of his since I was a kid too. So when I connected with him, when he asked me to do the tune, I record, I was like, "You want me to fly with you, Superman?" So,
no kidding, eh? Like it's when you get to work with the people, your mentors and stuff. You gotta. It's gotta feel great, right? It's gotta feel great when they say yes to working and collaborating with you. Oh
yeah. I think I've had great mentors and and great, just really good people to kind of look out for you, especially in the entertainment world or the musician world, and then just people to help you keep a head on your shoulder. And Billy has really taken me under his wing, I feel, when it comes to this business, I guess you could say. At least he keeps me humble in that way. You know what I mean? So
Well, you know what, and you notice that some of the biggest names are much more humble than the ones that are trying to make a name for themselves.
uh,
You know what I mean?
That's always the case.
I see that in this entertainment world all the time. The biggest names have always treated me like gold, and the ones that are up and coming always try to sort of. It's a big contest, right? I remember being in the green room at one of my Big Daddy Taz and friends events, and there was 4 or 5 comedians in there that had come and visited, and Fred Penner was there. He was my musical guest, and there's some pretty big names there, and then my wife came down. It was the only time she ever came down to the green room in the basement there of the Pantages, and afterwards I said, "Hey, did you like hanging out?" She goes, "Never bring me into the room like that again. Besides you and Fred, it smelled like piss and desperation." Everybody was just, it was a big pissing contest, and everybody was desperate to be the number one guy, and you and Fred were just leaning on the wall, sort of hanging out with each other, watching everybody else talking, right?
yeah.
But like you said,
Fred once. He was a really nice guy. You know, we were just a bunch of nobody radio students being taken on a tour through CBC, and he happened to be there in the studios in Vancouver, and he was so kind to us. He was so nice, humble.
That's Fred.
Yeah.
Freddie Penner, yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's talking about me because I'm super humble. Should we talk more about me? Can we talk about me? I want to be humble. Tell me how humble I am.
Pretty
No,
humble.
it was a Freddie. But you know what?
The humblest.
It's like, once I was out there, and I said hi to Taz, and he said, "Can you just shut up? I'm trying to talk here." And
I wasn't actually talking to you when I was just trying to talk over you.
yeah, no, that never happened. Taz has never been anything but mean to me directly to my face.
As well, he should. Just kidding.
You know what? It's Gator. It's like you said. It's all about keeping your head and being humble and realizing it can't always be your turn, but be ready for when it is your turn, pal.
Oh yeah. And I'm a little older. I've started doing this when I started singing when I was like younger and whatnot, and doing the shows. But I've turned 30 last year, and I think I'm still the kid when it comes to some people. But now I see other kids that are like 15. I'm like, hey, that reminds me of me. So it's just, I'm starting to see I'm on a different spot of that circle and going around. You know what I mean? So it's just.
Yeah, you're halfway around it.
Oh, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Considering I'm 53, you are still a kid, pal, to be honest with you. Right?
Oh, yeah,
But
that gets me pumped.
I'm sorry, I talked over you again. Go ahead, pal. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, yeah, no, that makes me even more pumped, because that means I've hopefully still got a long road ahead of me. And it's like, it's like you always feel like you're just starting, but I don't know. I stay optimistic even in light of the pandemic anyhow. So
yeah, I was going to ask you how are you doing with the pandemic? I hear you started an open mic thing. Tell us about that.
Sure did. Just started. In the city here, I've grown fond of attending open mics around the city and meeting different artists, different musicians from different circles, different networks. So I always find that every bar has their own kind of like circle of people, circle of like networks, and then going through to these like different bars and stuff like that, and different clubs and different restaurants, different open mics, I'll just say, because there's a variety of places that are obviously held, but not everybody knows each other and stuff like that, but getting to experience and see different kinds of music and acts, and everything from spoken word to the comedy to the music, even just the variety of music. It's just like, I grew up on the res, right? So growing up on the res with curiosity, like with a curious mind like myself, and I'm always trying to, learn about different things like that. And it's like it's like traveling the world in your own city in one night. You know what I mean? When you're doing these things, and it's just, but I missed that feeling of sharing the stage with people. So I just I tested it out last week, and then I had it going on Saturday, and it's gonna be fun. And I got a few more projects, but the one thing that the pandemic has showed me, I think, is kind of opened my eyes to kind of how to better myself for my family, I guess. So yeah, so I'm thankful for the family time, the extra family stuff. I got nice hat, Mark. And but yeah, I'm grateful for this. Yeah, I just actually. I was only a free man for about a month before before the pandemic hit, so I was on house arrest for a while for a while there. So yeah.
So-
Now I just feel like I'm on house arrest.
Well, no, the entire
No, that's exactly how I feel. Exactly, that's how I was feeling. I was like, oh my god, and I'm seeing people going nuts. I'm like, I was like, yeah, have you paced in your living room yet? And stuff like that. And everybody's tripping. I'm like, it's okay. You got to get comfortable with your crazy.
Yeah, well, you know what? You got to be comfortable with your crazy and understand who's in control of that crazy, right? Because you can't. I mean, it took me a long time to get in control of my rage and my crazy and my lashing out. It took me a long time, and even now, every once in a while, that will pop up. I remember even Johnny said the other day. He says that the old you kind of came through for a second there. I'm like, yeah, I kind of came through a little bit, but I tamed that tiger, but I let it out every once in a while in the confines of my own soul, right?
Well, if
Yeah.
you don't let it out once in a while, it's going to just fester and get worse. So.
Well, you know what? There's a reason that there's a little valve at the top of a pressure cooker, so you don't blow
That's
up.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gator, you and I met at the Westbrook when I was DJing there, and you would come up on stage with you in the band and play the night, and I'd play a DJ in between every now and then, and I got the honor of singing with you and the band a couple of times.
Yeah.
And you promised me that you're going to honor us with a song tonight.
Yes, sir. I guess I'll do this one here. How's that guitar sounding right now?
That was beautiful.
All right, cool. All right. This song here is called Devil's Vice. This is a song I wrote and recorded. Gonna be releasing soon. It's a song. I kind of talks about it's a song about devil's vices, I guess. Different vices, anyway. So whether it be drinking, gambling, whatever. But I kind of talk about that tune. I just kind of talk about that tune, and I talk about the story in the song. So yeah, check it out. All right, here it is. I keep looking for a reason, keep holding on. I can't seem to stop my head from turning around and around. I keep looking for a reason to put that bottle down, 'cause it feels like there's nothing left to lose with a whiskey devil around. I've been told I'm out of my mind. Oh, I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm out of control. Yeah, it might sound crazy after all that I've done. Guess I should stop playing with fire and messing with the devil's vice. I keep looking for a reason to put that bottle down, 'cause 'Cause I can't seem to stop my head from turning around and around. I keep looking for a reason to put that bottle down. 'Cause it feels like there's nothing left to lose. The whiskey devil around. Yeah, my baby, she still loves me after all I've done. While I'm out here playing these honky tonks on a worn out stage. Yeah, it might sound crazy after all that I've done. Guess I should stop playing with fire and messing with the devil's vice. I keep looking for a reason to put that bottle down. 'Cause I can't seem to stop my head turn around and around. Yeah, I keep looking for a reason, keep hanging on. Guess I should stop playing with fire and messing with the devil's fight. I keep looking for a reason, keep holding on. 'Cause I can't seem to stop my head from turning around and around. Yeah, I keep looking for a reason to put that bottle down. 'Cause it feels like there's nothing left to lose. The whiskey devil around. 'Cause it feels like there's nothing left to lose. The whiskey devil around. Right on. Part of that song goes out to my sister.
That was fantastic.
That was lovely, brother.
Right on.
That was
Thank
really,
you.
really good, man. Right?
Appreciate that.
Darlene says, "Woo hoo hoo makes me want to dance."
Right on. I know. I seen that. I was like, ooh, okay, well, I'll sing another one. Just kidding.
I can't dance to the blues. I'm too heavy.
That's why you got to roll with it, man. Just roll.
Yeah, I got to roll with the blues. Every
Yeah.
time I dance, everybody looks at me going like, "Look for the bare necessities,
Necessity.
the simple bare necessities."
Oh, that's my tune. That's my jam.
Or you could just pretend you're Métis and start jigging, right?
I tried jigging once and it hurt because my belly didn't want to stop moving when I stopped my feet.
Well, if I start jigging, I start a ripple. That's my problem too, right?
Yeah,
Nobody wants me to dance. Like, there's not enough potholes in the city.
No kidding, eh?
Now we know where they come from.
Gator, you know what? That song lends itself to the blues really easy, right? I mean, the devil's vice, right? It's the, it's all about.
It's like playing with fire.
Yeah, well, it's you know what? It's like playing with fire when you're covered in gasoline, right? I mean, it's just that's what the vice does. Is it'll grab a hold of you pretty tight, man.
Yeah.
It can,
Won't let go, man.
Oh yeah, your fingernails are gonna be dirty climbing out of that hole. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Elbow deep in your own muck, right? I mean, I wrote a poem one time about my vices, and my vices, you know, it was one of the lines was my vices stop me from taking the advices of that love and fill me with a hate of past mistakes, right? And that's what it does. Is it just for a while there, it'll mute your feelings and then it'll amplify, right?
Yeah. Yo, yeah. Oh my, yeah. That's story of my life there.
Somebody frying bologna somewhere? What's going on there?
Yeah, it sounds like somebody's sizzling bacon.
Somebody's frying bologna. Yeah, it's my wife cooking bologna.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, that's right. Let's make all of our guests hungry. All of our viewers. We're all going over to Gators for some bologna.
Anybody want to lose their appetite? I'll just start. Oh, never mind then. We'll just...
So before we let you go, Gator, our next guest is actually a fan of yours. So I'm going to bring him online. So
Cool.
He's waiting here. This is Ron Sigurdsson.
Hey Ron, how's it going?
Not bad. Long time no see.
Absolutely. You've I can't tell if you got a goatee there or not. Or there he is. There's the man. There he is.
Man, the question: what would happen if Gopher and John had a baby?
What would or not? With a pigment.
Sorry, I just
Oh, that was good.
thought about that for 48 hours straight, and
Yeah.
that's all I had.
John's watching from the hospital, so yeah.
Hi, John.
Yeah, I hope you're getting. I hope you're feeling better, Johnny. I just got a text from him a few minutes ago saying that he was happy that we're doing this. So
It's great. My son's a big fan of his. Yeah, and it cracks him up a lot. That's for sure.
oh, good man.
Yeah, Ron, it's good to see you, man. That's for sure. I've known Ron for what year is it? 2021? Probably 12 years now. 11 years. 11 or 12 years.
Sounds good.
Something like sounds good to me. And that's Ron, always laid back.
Yeah.
Right on. Well,
We're
thanks
from
for
the same
having.
part of the world.
Oh yeah, man. The 448 boys here. And
We're the 448s. 448.
Yeah, Ron was telling me he's from the white community next door.
what? I know that's where we used to go play bingo sometimes.
And I
Nobody-
won't
The
say
pots
what-
are bigger. I don't know why.
Gator looks like he's the baby face in the group, no hair.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not for a lack of
All
trying.
the rest of us are scooting the gray. Hey,
That's,
there's the young man.
This,
Look
this,
at where he was.
this looks like an elder intervention, buddy.
This is my open house. This is my open mic co-host here, Mr. Ethan.
Little brother Ethan, how are you, sir?
Oh, it's my son here. He's he got to get a little older for me to call him brother yet. I think I was
I
about
call
15
everybody.
before my dad started to call me brother. No, I'm just kidding.
I call everybody. I call every little brother because we're all, you know what I mean.
I get it. All right.
Ethan, how are you, sir?
Oh,
He can't hear you.
I'm here. Oh, sorry. Ethan, how are you?
how
How
are
are
you?
you?
Good.
Good, man. You just hanging with your old man?
Do you play the guitar like your dad? No. He told
No?
me
What do
you
you
taught
play?
you everything.
What?
You play the
He
violin.
told
right?
me that you taught him everything.
Well,
Say almost everything. Right on. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Gator, how can
And,
people find you, man? Give us shout out your website or shout out where you want people to go.
Cool.
What's going on in your world in the next little bit that we can catch you at?
So you can find you can find me on Gator Bolio with 2 R's on Facebook. Either my personal profile or the fan page Gator Bolio, as well as YouTube. Gator Bolio right there, just like that. Also, I've got a Manitoba music website, and I'm on all the social media platforms. Twitch under the name Gator Bolio. There's not a lot of Gator Bolios out there, so
Nah.
yeah. And the Indigenous Music Top 40 Countdown. If you go to NCI.com, there'll be a place where it'll direct you if you guys want to go vote for the tune. And there's 39 other artists and groups up there that you can vote for too if you like them as well. But right now I think we're sitting at 36 or something like that on the countdown.
We gotta make you climb. We gotta make you climb.
That's
Absolutely.
it. You know what, Gator? Send me the link to your Facebook page, and then I'll put it on my Facebook page.
It sounds great.
You know, there he's got it right there. But send it to me personally as well, and then the link to the NCI, and then what I'll do is I'll send it. I'll send it through an email blast, and I'll send it through Facebook blast.
Excellent. I really appreciate that.
No worries, man. I
Great
can't
one.
wait. I can't wait to share the stage with you one day, my friend.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. Again, big fan, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Hopefully, I'll be able to share
And
the
I
stage
have
with
yours,
you
my
as
friend.
well.
And I have yours.
Right on. All right, high fives.
High fives.
See you, Ron. Adios.
Ron Sigurdsson.
Well, that's a tough act to follow.
Yes. Yes.
can do it.
yeah.
As good as a musician, he's a better human being. He's just a good person.
It seems like he's got a much more peaceful soul now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
He is. I was DJing at the Westbrook, and they had karaoke there. and I'd go in and I'd go and sing karaoke, and heard me sing Mustang Sally once, and then he was the first to bring me up on stage at the Westbrook in between my DJ sets while he was playing, and he said, "Why don't you sing Mustang Sally? We'll just play and do your backups for you, and you just take her." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, I saw you do it at karaoke. You can do this." So I pulled it off with him. And then all of a sudden, all the bands wanted to do Mustang Sally with me. It was the only song I was allowed to sing, but they were all.
Reminds me back in the day when I was before I was doing comedy full time. I'd bounce at the Club St. B with Franco, and Franco could belt out Franco. And people didn't realize Franco had this great voice.
Oh, he had a great voice.
That Mustang, he would lay Mustang Sally down, and people would stop, and it's awesome. That was one thing I've always wanted. I wish I could sing. Like, I wish I had the confidence to sing like you and Johnny and everybody. I just I had a teacher one time tell me in front of the class that you probably don't. I auditioned for something, and you probably probably don't ever sing in public again would be a gift to us all. So that it's funny that I was probably in grade 6 or something. And that stuck with me my entire life, right? The words that you choose can really affect people's lives,
they can really hurt. I would go to karaoke all the time, and one day it was me, my ex-wife, and a couple of others, and I saw a song that I one of my favorite songs of all time, by a group called Stone Bolt, called "I Will Always Love You."
I'll always love you, yeah.
And I said, "Oh, they've got it in karaoke." And my wife looked at me and says, "Please don't sing it. I like that song."
Oh my God.
I did not sing another song that night. I could not believe how that one sentence could just devastate me so much.
Right? The ego, some people's egos are yards deep, and other people's egos are just floating on top of that water like that thin crust of ice that you think is thick, right?
Yep.
The last time I sang in public was I was up north in Churchill, and we were doing that was when they had shut down the railway and stuff, and people couldn't go up. So I said, "Listen, I'll come up, and we're going to do just a community night. Three things. It has to be free to the public. There has to be a kids component involved, like a comedy or a talent show, and it's got to be called Off the Rails as an FU to the railway company that wouldn't fix the thing." So we did that, and one girl was so terrified. She goes, she ran off the stage. So I just met her backstage. I said, "You know what? I'm terrified to sing too, but I heard you in rehearsals, and I heard you backstage." And I said, "You got a beautiful voice." And I said, "Don't be like me. Don't wait till you're old and want to sing. Sing now." She goes, "Well, would you sing if I sang?" I said, "Yeah, I'll sing eventually for sure. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal sometime this year. I'll sing in public if you sing right now." So she went up and she blew the doors off the joint, right? Just a beautiful, awesome voice. And then she says, "Okay, and now Taz is going to sing." I went, "Nah, I lied. 100%, 100%. I said whatever." So that night I sang 16 Tons with the band, and because it's the only one I know most of the words to, right? And she came up afterwards. She gave me a hug. She said, if you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have sang. I was just, because somebody had made fun of me right before that. And I said, you can't listen to those that tell you can't, unless they're going to tell you can't, and then teach you how to do it.
That's so true. And I'll tell you this, Taz. Before we start grilling poor Ron here and raking him over the coals,
or interviewing him,
whichever.
Words, buddy.
What you do as a comedian, it takes an amazing amount of inner strength, because I've gone up there. I was kind of fooled into that position of doing stand-up for about 15 minutes. And I tell you, I've never sweat so much in my entire life as that 15 minutes, because I get up there, I sing, it's like when I'm DJing. They're going to like the song, they don't like the song, they like my voice, they don't like my voice. Big deal. I went up there, I sang, I got off the stage. But when you're up there and you're telling jokes over and over again, and you're trying to get them to respond. And if they're just sitting there like a painting, to keep on going for your entire set takes more balls than an entire football team have. It takes a lot more to sing. So you get up there and sing it. You know, I say about this to everybody when I'm hosting karaoke. Karaoke is not for Mariah Carey. It's not for Ed Sheeran. It's not for Michael Bublé. It's for us. Because if we all had voices like that, we wouldn't need them on stage to sing for us because we'd be concerts everywhere we go.
You know, but it's the same as when you say it takes so much for me to get on stage. I step on stage. I'm terrified every moment I'm on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But I still do it because that's what I love, just like you love singing, right? So,
yep.
Right, give yourself some. So, how about we talk about Ron instead of ourselves?
Ron.
Well, kind of egomaniacal.
Ron and I go back a little ways away.
More than a minute.
Yeah. He was actually my marriage counselor for a while.
I thought I'd be a really good marriage counselor because I've gone through 3 on my own. You know, nothing beats experience, right? So, Ron,
Sage wisdom is good.
One of the things I wanted to bring you on for is we're in a really weird worldwide situation here, where a lot of us are kind of there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do. We are at home. We cannot get that separation from the people that we are living with, and it doesn't matter how much you love somebody. There's only so much of a human being you can take before you need some breather time of your own.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that?
Well, COVID is a weird time, as you say. I'm a marriage and family therapist, and the one thing that we're seeing is everywhere where COVID kind of relaxes, we're just busier than we can handle. And it turns out that many people either spend too much time with their family or not enough time with their family. So either you see your family all the time or you don't see them for a long time. Like I drove out one day for 3.5 hours to my dad's place, dropped something off at a step, talked to him for 5 minutes through a mask, and drove back for 3.5 hours. So other than that, I haven't seen him since January. And that is difficult. There's lots of guilt because he's an older guy, and there's lots of shame, and he's missing out on a lot of stuff. But when you're at home with your family all the time, it just gets too much. And the one thing that I've seen, and she's right, struggle is it builds character. One of the things that therapists say, it's a lie, but we like to say it. We say lots of lies. We say that things are we say the Chinese have the same word for crisis and opportunity. It's not true, but we like that concept. And when we do face struggles, it either shows who we really are or it shows who we really are.
True.
And you know what, Ron? Too, people shouldn't feel guilty that they need to be away from their family for a bit. That's part of what happens is that I love Wee Beast, and I love my oldest boy, and I love my wife, Miss Christy, very much. And we went from a much bigger house than we have now, and we decided to sell when COVID hit because I thought it would be a good idea to sort of become a little bit more financially prudent. So we moved back into the house where we started, and now I don't have my shop and I don't have my office away, and I don't have that. So we are in each other's faces all the time, and I was feeling guilty about having to go out and even just sit in my truck for a while and answer emails in there just to quiet the din that's around. And part of what starts the separation, I think, is people feel guilty about needing to be away from their family because somehow that makes you a worse husband or a worse wife or a worse mom or a worse dad. No, you need that separation for a little bit for your good mental health.
I did the opposite of you. I moved in the middle of COVID too, from a small house to a big house, so I got the more space, and I have the 2 sunrooms and the garage and the big yard, and space is good.
Yeah, it really is.
And yeah, there shouldn't be guilt about that, but my guilt comes from not seeing like elderly parents and not seeing people who could really use the contact. And I sit here with my, we got a COVID dog, which was probably the best thing we did. We got the dog March 1st. So we have a lot going on, but I do feel sorry for my relatives who have no one.
Yeah.
Both my parents are away. So my dad lives in Calgary. My father and stepmother live in Calgary. My mother in Richmond, BC. So the only way I get to see them is on here.
Yeah.
My mother's become a regular on our show, which has actually been one of the highlights of her life, I think, because people love her. She's awesome. She's funny.
She's always eating something. Every
Yeah.
time the last time she was on, she was eating. What are you eating? Oh, stuffed peppers. I'll make them for you.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you, if you ever decide you're going to Richmond, she will host you. She will feed you.
I do like a good stuffed pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, she makes good food.
You know what, Ron? I read this somewhere, and I wrote it down here. I had it on a piece of paper, and it's COVID. COVID shows you exactly what retirement's going to be like with your family, with your spouse, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that was a very cool line that somebody wrote. That if you're having trouble making it through COVID, remember that this is what retirement's going to be like.
And a lot of people are having a hard time going through COVID with their spouse.
Yeah.
One of the things that I see, which kind of surprised me, is that I think many of us, I think the meaning of life is how do we get our needs met? And we get our needs met by good ways and bad ways, but we get most of our needs met through relationships with other people.
Yeah.
And what I find that happens is that people will have a relationship with their significant other, and that person is pretty good in many ways, but the original person goes out to work and they have lots of friendships there, and they get a lot of their needs met through the friendships. And what I've found is a lot of people, now that they were at home for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months, kind of think their spouse is a dud.
Yeah.
And the analogy that I use for that is, let's say you're used to going to like 10 different groceries or 10 different stores and get your wine at one place and get your tools at a different place, and now you only have one source for it. And I think people are getting pretty bitter about that. And what I see is people now have unrealistic expectations. So I've seen that over and over again in my private practice and my various jobs that I do, is that people are just quite irritable with their spouse, saying they can't give me what I need. And it's like, yeah. And they said, well, why not? It's because you're asking for too much from one person.
One person can't be everything, right? That's a really great analogy, right? When I go out, I got my car group, I got my comedian friends, I got my entertainment friends, I got my car friends, I got my antique friends, and I got my wife, right? And I can't imagine how much she hates the fact that I've probably told her the same story 5 times over, because I'm so used to saying that, and I'll come up with a joke and I'll be like, how about this? And she'll be, oh, no, like, yeah. Meanwhile, my buddies are like, because their sense of humor would grab them. And now my wife just sort of looks at me and goes, and it's that's it, right? And it's spending the same amount of people, same amount of time with one person, as opposed to that time being spread over a dozen people, or in our case, as entertainers or marriage counselors and entertainers, you get to share your personality, right? I
Right.
feel like I'm losing my personality because I'm not the same kind of happy-go-lucky cat I am at home. When I'm home, I'm kind of I just like to sit around, do stuff that and I'm not out there being like, ta-da.
See, I spend all my time with other people's wives and kids, and rarely with my own. And now that 6 months, it's a long time, and you're trying to reintroduce yourself and trying to get them to know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you got
the
to
other
talk, which is
side of
awesome.
it is that new relationships have kind of taken a whack to the nards too, because all these people now, they're meeting online, but an online relationship is not a relationship to me. I don't know if I'm off on or just too old to understand it, but I think personally that contact, that face to face in real time, real life, you're right there in front of me. I could actually reach out and touch you and then get slapped. That kind of connection is almost non-existent because people can't go meet anybody anymore.
You can't feel the connection. You can't
No.
feel the words. You can't feel the vibration of other people. You can't. It's the same as doing comedy online. I have to learn to listen with my eyes now. Right? I can hear the laughter, but I can't feel the laugh. You can't when you talk to somebody. Part of the thing that ignites your soul is the vibrations that person puts off, the energy that person puts off, and it doesn't translate. Just like sound doesn't translate into a text, adulation does not translate over or adoration or anything doesn't translate through the waves, right?
Yeah, synergy is that energy that you feel from people.
Yeah. Way to be smarter than me. I didn't know what it was called, but thank you. I'm going to look that up.
Well, he's schooled for that.
It's
We're
kind of what
Googling it.
you spend 20 years doing something, you learn a few things.
Yeah. I was in jail.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
So, what advice would you give to people, looking to meet somebody who's single, looking to meet somebody new, out there in the world, that you're stuck in your home, you're isolated, you're not allowed to have anybody over your home, can't even have your favorite 5 friends around you anymore.
Right.
What would you say?
have
What would you don't have 5 friends? Can I be your friend?
Oh, no, I got 5 now. Yeah. We're good.
Oh,
I think some people are made for. I think some people are better suited for internet dating than other people, and I think some people are more suited for online stuff. And if that's what you're suited for, good. If not, I would probably hold off and wait. And you likely don't want to be compromising your value system. And there's no point playing games that you don't know the rules to, because you're going to get hurt. So
yeah,
I don't think online dating is for amateurs, and I don't think now is the time to start. But I guess I've been hitting 25 years in August for myself, so I guess it's not something I've spent much time thinking about, and it's not really something that I'm getting professionally to deal with. I'm dealing with people who want to end their relationships, not people who want to begin it. So not my expertise.
What's a few things? Give me 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things that people that are starting to get annoyed, because it doesn't. One day you don't wake up, one day you don't wake up out of the blue going, okay, I don't want to be with you anymore. It's a series of things that you don't, and communication. I know communication is the number one thing. I shouldn't say I know. Well, in my past relationship, communication is the number one thing that has ended. It's lack of communication and how you're feeling, and what are some things that people can talk to their spouses and their partners about. Say, hey, listen, I'm feeling, and what advice do you have, Ron? Because people feel it's weak to have to go to a marriage counselor or a psychiatrist or a doctor sometimes, right?
Yeah, and the one theory is that therapy is for weak, broken people who need to get fixed, and other people think therapy is for strong people who realize they need to get rid of things. You got the edit button, but what I tell my clients is, I'm toilet paper. It's my job to get rid of the shit in your life. So if you have too much shit and you can't deal with it, that's my job. Speaking about communication, I believe there's basically kind of 2 types of relationships. There's healthy and unhealthy relationships. And healthy relationships defy science. If you put 10 units in, you get 1,000 out. It's like synergy and energy. It's like, like if Gopher and I were hanging out, I'd be a better version of myself with him, A different way of saying it is 1 + 1 = more than 2. I'm better with some people than I am by myself.
Yeah.
They bring out the best of me. Unhealthy relationships also defy science. You put 1,000 units out just to get 10 units, and 1 + 1 = less than 2. The other analogy I use is like, I hate beer, I hate Clamato juice, but if I put that together, I could drink that all day.
Yeah.
I love pickles, I love ice cream, don't like them together. And I mean, sometimes when I'm with people, I become a worse version of myself. I have to shut down myself, and I mean, it's not good. And so I want people to have healthy relationships. And healthy relationships have 3 components: trust, closeness, and respect. Love is not a component. Love's a magnifier. If you have a great relationship, love makes it better. If you have a bad relationship, love makes it worse. Communication is not a component. Communication grows out of it. Yeah. But what I'll tell people is, I believe this, that conversations that you have will not hurt a healthy relationship, but the conversations you don't have will destroy it. So if something's true, it's important to say it. If not, it festers inside you. And, rage is a desperate attempt to be heard. You get that part that comes out of you, and then you get resentment, and it really feeds a lot of the negative things in relationships that just robs you. So my piece in communication is, If something is true and it's important, talk to your spouse, talk to your kids, talk to your neighbor, talk to your buddies, talk to people. And if you have a healthy relationship, it might take a step back. It might get a little more difficult, but you could make it work at that point.
Well, if all the cards are on the table, then people know exactly how everybody's feeling, right? And then there are times to bite your tongue when you realize that, you bite your tongue for a few things because is it worth opening a wound for something that is only momentarily pissing you off?
If
right?
something isn't that important to you and it's just kind of a defense mechanism, yeah, but for the most part, if you think it's true and it's occupying your brain, it's probably better out if you could have like a realistic conversation where you could actually talk about it.
Yeah.
And taking a moment to, like, I have a very thick skin, but there's a point where I'm just like, ah, la, la, and I try not to have it. What did somebody say? Don't have conversations of the heart with an angry mind.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So the three components to healthy relationship are trust, closeness, and respect. So if you ask yourself, will this increase trust, closeness, and respect? Then you'll do it. So if you have, I guess, the communication piece is, as long as you're doing it in a respectful, trustful manner, it will bring you closer.
Yeah.
But I see people all the time who come in and they've spent the last 20 years not having a conversation.
Yeah.
And by that point, it's too late. But once they have that conversation, it's better. The other big piece, too, is to have realistic expectations for your spouse. To really kind of don't expect them to be all 9 stores or 10 stores. And if not, you get really resentful. And resentment really eats at relationships.
I'm very blessed because Miss Christie, my wife, is, when I get anxious, I lose my words. Case in point, today I had a big podcast we were doing, national kind of a podcasty thing, and we couldn't get the camera to work. And she's like, "What do you want?" In my brain, I'm like, "What the hell do you think I want? You can see what I need right here, but the words coming out, that my brain is like, well, how do you not know?" And I can't find the words. She goes, "What's wrong with the camera?" I said, "Well, it's wonky and it's not working." And oh, okay. So she calmly does that. But I also see that my anxiety, and adds to her anxiety as well. And I've learned to apologize before I start talking, because I go, I'm really at my wit's end here. So please deal with me, right? As opposed to going, and then afterwards going, "I'm sorry I said that." I find that if I'm able to communicate with her that I'm so anxious, like I'm losing my shite here, and she'll step in and give me a hand, and there's no apologizing afterwards, right? It's just, one of the worst things I ever hear sometimes is, "Oh, I'm used to that." I'm like, "Oh, I don't want you to be used to me being an asshole."
Yeah,
Right?
that's the worst. That's the worst thing to hear. So I'm used to you being a dick. Well, I don't want to be a dick. I want to be a good guy. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm used to it already, so it doesn't really bother me so much anymore. I know how to handle it.
Well, the opposite of love is indifference. So when they start going, "Yeah, whatever, I don't really care anymore. It's your dick, that's just it." Yeah. No, what you're talking about earlier is exasperating each other. And sometimes we exasperate the worst in each other. And that's most likely time when you need to just take a step away from each other and come back and say, "Hey, what do I really need to do here?"
Oh, she made me laugh the other day. I said, "We should probably never go to bed angry." She goes, "No, you should just never go to bed scared." If I took anything away from you, Ron, it's to try Clamato milkshakes and beer with pickles. That's what I took around this whole thing. That's the takeaway.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There you go.
Being somebody who makes beer, I take offense that you don't like it.
It's actually one of my
Like he's gonna like your
really.
beer.
Was that
Just one of the things we say.
Was that Taz?
Oh, I said it's like I don't think I've ever had somebody go, "I made beer then," and that made me want to become, stop being sober. Hey, you know what I want to try? I want to try beer you made in your house. Let's try that.
Hey, I make a damn good beer in my house.
I'll never know.
Well, you don't drink, right?
No, I don't, buddy. But I'll tell you what, you start making pickles and ice cream, I'm over.
I tried to make, because John doesn't drink either, and
No.
I tried to make a non-alcoholic version of my beer so that he could try it.
Yeah.
Boy, did I mess that up.
Well, you can't really do that because the taste comes from the fermentation and
Well, no, that's true. But what you do is once you ferment the beer, before
Yeah.
you bottle it, what you have to do is you have
Drink
to put it in the oven
yeah.
at about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or 150 degrees Fahrenheit, because that's where the alcohol vaporizes away,
Yeah.
but leaves the rest of the beer there. So you have
Well,
all
maybe
the
stop
flavor.
serving people beer at 150 degrees.
Well, no, you what? Then you take it out. You have to cool it back down immediately.
Yeah.
So you have a special gadget for that, and then you bottle it,
Nice.
put the
A
yeast
fridge.
in, and then let it carbonate,
Yeah.
right? But I screwed that up so bad. I just had to throw it out. I was so mad at myself.
Yeah. No more than he was mad at you, buddy. So don't feel bad.
Well, Ron, I want to thank you for coming on tonight.
Ron,
Well,
where
thank
can,
you. It's a huge honor.
where can people,
yeah, how
where
can
can
people
people
find
find
you?
you?
I'm too busy. I have a huge wait list, so I'm not looking for people to find me.
You should come on every once in a while. We can ask you some questions if that's cool. I mean, part of the problem is men are born with this magic wand between their legs that don't think that they need, like I said, marriage counselors, or hell, half the people don't think they need mechanics, right? And doctors and stuff. So
Until that check engine light comes on.
yeah, exactly. Even
Or that
that's what
part
black
falls
tape's
off.
for.
Yeah.
I would love to. I've always said my specialty is I specialize in people who hate therapy. So I'm my tagline used to be the first choice for the last people who'd ever see a therapist.
So if you're interested, maybe we can every couple of weeks or so we can do a small little segment with you on the show.
Sure, I like the small segment part. Sure,
Awesome.
I would love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could
one of the
do,
things.
go for. You could have people come in. If you can let them know ahead of time that he's going to be here, and they can ask some questions. They can ask
Yep.
and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful idea.
I think what people should do is write in right now and give us questions, and then we could let me answer it, and then Ron will be like, "No, that's not. You shouldn't do that."
Yeah, no. And again, if there's no questions, then it's just a great thing. I sit here for 3 minutes, and I'll do my own stand up. And
Can I get you to sign this non-disclosure agreement that won't use your names, but I will use what we talk about on stage, please? That would be lovely.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Ron, for joining me.
Thank you, guys.
Get in contact with you, and we'll set up a segment for you to come on.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, buddy. It's
Bye.
great to meet you, man.
It's me and you.
Hey, so I promised my buddy Joe.
See, that's what you have to do right there. You got to finish your sentence because this is what everybody heard. I promised my butt.
Yeah. I promised my buddy that I would put this on. I did this commercial for him for a Facebook ad. Basically, what it is he started a company so that if you own a home and your hot water heater is 4 years old, 5 years old, he can come and inspect the anode in it.
Yeah.
And if you keep that anode refreshed, once it's down to like 30%, you take it out, you have him put a new one in, you can extend the life of your hot water tank like almost indefinitely. His is what? His mine blew out at 6 years old, 8 years old, 7 years old. And his is going on to 19 years old.
That was the worst auctioneer impression I've ever heard right there.
No, I was trying to remember how long it was. But his is like 19 years old already.
Yeah.
And keep going. So I'm going to play this commercial. Then we're going to come back. My mother's waiting in the and we're going to say hi to my mom.
Awesome.
Before your water heater springs an untimely and messy leak, call Replace That Rod and extend its life dramatically. Nearly all water heaters are prematurely discarded simply because of corrosion due to lack of proper preventative maintenance. Tank service life can double or even triple through maintenance that includes timely sacrificial anode replacement and removal of nasty accumulations formed within your tank. Contact Replace That Rod today to find out how we can help you get the most out of your home's water heater.
So John did all the art, like the drawings. The super hot water heater.
That's awesome. I'm going to give a little plug to my buddy too. Is if you go to before we talk to Mama Bear, if you don't mind,
Yeah, go ahead.
Go down to Chicken Chef at 3770 Portage Avenue. You can have the ABK burger, which is a 5-ounce chunk of chicken, deep fried in their special coating, and there's spicy and there's regular, and then there's got some mayo and a pickle, and on the spicy one's got chipotle and a pickle on a toasted bun, and it's delicious. And 50 cents from every one of those bad boys comes back to my reading program. So, and if you want, for kids, if you got kids, I read every day except for Sunday at 7:30 Central Time, 7:30 Winnipeg time. I read to kids. And yesterday was book 670 and 671, and it was day 298. So there you go.
I've got to say, I'm very, very proud of you for doing that. I was watching the first ones, and actually, I'm not going to get fired for this because my boss knows I was doing it. I was putting it on my phone. I was watching you on my phone and had my phone off to the side of my desk so I could listen to you read the stories. So you are an inspiration. Hey, Mom.
Mama Bear.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How about you guys?
Not so bad. As you noticed, John is not with me tonight. John went and had an operation against my will, but he went and had an operation. And Big Daddy Taz here, a friend of both John and mine, said he would step in and take the co-host spot with me.
Oh, because
I've been on since the beginning, but for some reason you couldn't see me. I don't know what happened with the format. So then just a few minutes ago, I closed the other app, the other thing. I closed you up anyways, and then I clicked again in.
Huh. Well, there you go. This time you didn't have to phone me and say, "Why can't I see you?"
Well, you told me not to call when you're talking to guests.
What'd you have for supper today, Mama Bear?
I had chicken noodle soup.
Oh, so there you go. I want the stuff. I want you to send.
Actually, when you were saying that I usually eat something, I was eating.
That's wonderful.
And I thought you see me, and I said thank you. I thought nobody responded, so I thought, okay, they don't see me.
Didn't see you
So
eating,
I
Mom.
closed the screen and started all over again.
That's funny. Oh, I tell you, one of my favorite things my mom makes, Yemenite soup. Oh,
well, it's got the word "yum" right in it. How can it be bad?
not yum.
Right in it.
Yemenite.
Oh, Yemenite.
We're not Yemenites. We're Yemenites.
Yemenite.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what Yemenite soup is, but if it's soup and it doesn't have olives in it, I'll try it.
No olives. Mom, what is it? Is it cumin that gives it the yellow?
The turmeric makes it yellow.
Turmeric. Really good for your joints and your brain.
Turmeric.
Turmeric. Yeah, he knows what it is.
Yeah,
Not
turmeric.
Yes.
Turmeric.
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 Here we call it turmeric.
Okay, that's because you can't pronounce a word that has few R's in it.
Turmeric.
Hang on.
Right?
I'm Googling.
Oh,
Turmeric,
no,
that's right.
Yeah, turmeric.
You try to take the easy way, so you say turmeric.
I've always called it turmeric. It's turmeric.
I know. I said everybody does. You're not the exception. You're the
The
rule.
R is silent, Mom.
It's not turmeric.
So anyway, but it's got great big chunks of potatoes in it and like an entire chicken legs. Oh,
Well, you know what? It's funny that a lot of the stuff that we put in our soups have medicinal values. Like a chicken noodle soup is known to help with illness, and turmeric is good for joints and inflammation and things like that. So that's good.
That's right.
Your mom's keeping you alive, Gof.
oh yes. But and jachnun. Oh, I want jachnun so bad.
What's that?
Mom, you explain it better.
What?
Jachnun.
What can I explain? It's like
It's a
you look
pastry.
at it, you think you're looking at a croissant, but it's made out of dough that you make.
Yeah.
And you open it up. I mean, it's hard to
You,
explain.
you,
Like,
you roll it a lot like a croissant would be rolled,
and then and then you
and
sort
then you
of
bake it. You bake it overnight.
bake it overnight, and then
And
in the morning you eat it with the dark
Bean-
beans and hard-boiled eggs.
Mm.
Oh,
And turmeric.
Yeah,
well,
very nice.
turmeric. But it's not light and fluffy like
No,
a,
if you're gonna, it must be a pretty dense. It must
it's
be
a very very dense
oh yeah,
dense thing. Once this stupid COVID thing is over, I'm gonna make Jachnun. You're coming over for Jachnun.
Actually, if you look for a Jewish store that sell stuff from Israel, you might find the frozen jachnun and the mlawa.
I don't know if there are Jews in Winnipeg.
You don't think
Of
so? You think there's only the one? I'm not Jewish, but I could pass the physical. How's
Yeah.
that?
No, we've got one of the bigger communities in the
Oh,
country.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know,
I think
right,
it's
that's
Montreal is
I
never-
think it's Montreal, Winnipeg, Calgary, and I think that's the three largest.
Mark, if they bring stuff from Israel, then they'll have that. I buy it here. I can buy it at the superstore in Vancouver. I buy my mlawa and my jachnun.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it
it's
as good?
already-
Is it as good?
It's not bad. Like, I mean, out of 10, I'll give it a 6.
Well, then I don't want it because I've been
But
spoiled.
you can get the ones that it's not cooked. It's just the dough, and you put that in the oven, and then it's much better.
Oh, the one you were talking about is pre-cooked. Oh,
What was that noise you made?
I don't want pre-cooked Jachnun. That's going to be bad. It's like, oh,
Well, I'll wait until I'll wait until Gopher brings me to your house, Mama Bear, and I'll have the proper stuff. How's that?
I actually can make it too. I've got my mom's given me her recipe.
Yeah, my mom gave me some recipes too, but it doesn't taste like my mom.
But
My
you
mom,
never
there's always a little bit of stuff.
You've seen me doing it, so I can give you the recipe, but you've seen me doing it, so you know how to do it. But
Yeah.
for someone who didn't see how to do it, you wouldn't know how to do it. It's hard.
Do you know my friend Scott Tackerberry? Taz?
You mean tack?
Yeah, Scott
Yeah,
Tackerberry.
I know of tack. I'm sure I know him. Yeah.
Okay, so what really is this disappointing to me is I had, when I was still with my ex-wife, we used to get together, the two families, the Tackerberries and the Dobres. We get together and we do like sushi night. And one day I did Jachnun. We had them over for Jachnun, and his wife Lisa learned how to make Jachnun, and she makes it better than me. And it's like come on, this is this is cultural appropriation. You're taking it away from me.
Well, you know what? I miss the memories that go with my mom cooking. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I miss. I miss being in the kitchen. My mom would smoke all the. She'd have 2 cigarettes going while she was cooking. I'm like, I shouldn't even be in the kitchen like this, right? You too?
That's my mom.
I used to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I went back in the day. I mean, that's where we got our fiber, was from her ashes.
Well, I used to say everything in our house was smoked.
I wasn't that bad.
We had smoked beef, and we had smoked turkey. We had smoked Jello. We had smoked ice cream. Everything was smoked in our house. Oh, is this vanilla ice cream with a
mine
hint
wasn't
of
that bad.
plain?
Do you want to hear a terrible, terrible, terrible thing? I'm sure that the statute of limitations is passed so that my mom cannot be arrested now. When I was like a year old or something, or even younger, I used to steal cigarettes out of the ashtray and puff away.
You were you quit at a year and a half.
I quit smoking at a year and a half.
You quit smoking at a year and a half.
when we were
Hey, Mom, I need some milk.
Yeah.
actually, when we came to at 9 months old, we were staying at a friend's house, in Montreal, and the husband used to smoke a cigar,
Yeah.
and he left it on the counter, and the high chair was Mark was sitting in a high chair next to the counter, and he just picked up the cigar, and he was smoking it, and like I thought, oh my God.
I'll tell you what, Mama Bear, if I saw that, my first thought was, I gotta get my camera. That's what let me get my camera before.
It's.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right. But now, in hindsight, like I regret it. But when we were in Israel, and it was my mom's funeral, and so when we were in the house, like he was just taking everybody's cigarettes and smoking them, because people would leave the cigarettes in the ashtray,
Yeah.
and he would just pick them up and smoke them.
Well, that was the culture back then. I don't think any of my aunties or uncles' kitchens had countertops that didn't have at least one yellow mark from a cigarette that had burnt back too far, and they fell out of the ashtray. And every house smelled like my grandma's purse. Right? It was just all full of Vicks rub, and cigarette smoke. Right? That's way.
oh God.
And just a little bit of Jack Daniels.
That makes for a great morning.
There you
I
go.
wake up to that smell.
Oh man, I remember Mom and Dad smoking in the car and getting mad when I wanted to crack a window, and then getting, "What's wrong with you? What do you got, asthma? Well, I can't breathe back here." It's like it's like driving inside a cigarette.
Yeah, and when they finally open the doors, people call 911 to get a fire truck because all the smoke coming out.
I know. I'll tell you. I
We
feel very guilty now when I think back when my kids were in the car and I was smoking. I feel terrible.
She doesn't feel bad about the fact that I was smoking, but she feels bad that she was smoking in the car with us.
No, she shouldn't get an example. When my mom unfortunately my mom had Alzheimer's, so we had to put her into a full care facility, and then we had something where Dad also. When we moved mom and Dad out of the house, we quickly realized the walls weren't yellow. They were white, but they were so covered in nicotine. We moved a picture, and it was stark white. It was underside of a vampire's arse white. Like, that's how white it was. And we pulled the picture off, and we're like, holy crap, the walls aren't yellow. My sisters and I, we washed the walls down, and it was, and they would smoke in the car. I remember this clear as day. It was the same day I got my St. Christopher medal. I was 8 years old, and we had gone on a family trip, and my dad pulled over and cleaned the inside, because they would smoke inside. They cleaned the inside of the windshield off, and not the bugs on the outside, because it was just that nicotine, stuff. It was the culture back then, though, right?
Yeah. True.
Well, your son and I were talking about how the doctors used to prescribe smoking. If you had some anxiety or you're feeling verklempt or whatever, they prescribed smoking to my auntie. And I remember going to see my doctor, my doctor as a kid, and him and my mom would be smoking, talking about, well, maybe he's got attention deficit disorder. I don't, that was the way it was.
But those days, you ask a doctor and they said there's nothing wrong with smoking.
Yeah.
It was, and now, God forbid. But I
bring
tell
us
you,
back.
The worst is not secondhand smoking. They were saying that the worst is, when you smoke, then the smoke goes on your clothes, and then you hold a child or a baby and all this, and they're smelling your clothes, and that's worse than the secondhand smoke, because secondhand smoke goes into the air.
Yeah.
But when the
Yeah.
kid,
It's off
you
gas,
hold
right?
it,
Yeah.
It's called off gassing when it's in your clothing and it actually mixes with the other toxins that are in the dyes and stuff. Yeah, it's great.
yeah.
You know, all
It's
the
the
stuff that
same
they say
with
are good
this,
for you. You know?
the things
Yeah.
that smoke. What do you call them? Those things that now people
Vapes.
smoke
Vapors.
cigarettes?
Yeah.
Vapors.
Vapors. They think that it's safe. It's not,
No.
because you get crystal lungs from it. And they said with cigarettes, if you quit, your lungs can get better in time.
Yeah.
But the crystal lungs, they can't fix, they can't correct it.
Well, anything that you ingest into your lungs that isn't air probably isn't good. Let's take the superheated air that smells like popcorn and let's put it in your lungs and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad I quit smoking a long time ago. I still like the occasional cigar. I treat myself to a cigar 2 or 3 times a year, a good cigar. And but you know, that's it for me. I'm done. I one of the reasons I don't like smoking and I don't like coffee is because when my mom would lick the napkin and then wipe my face when I was a kid, my face smelled like smokes and coffee. So I don't smoke and I don't drink coffee.
You know, when I look at a cigarette, I think back to my infancy with such fondness.
I remember
used to
when I
smoke
was a year and a half and I was smoking.
I used to smoke when I quit, I was smoking between 2.5 to 3 packs a day.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then March 30th, 2001, I quit.
Oh, 20 years ago. It's awesome.
Coming up to it.
My mom and dad would smoke a minimum of 3 packs a day. It was just my mom would light one off the other one, right? That's like chain smoke like that. And then my dad, they both had dementia towards the end, and it was minus 30 something out, and my dad was in a full care facility, a hospital actually, and he goes, I have to go out to smoke, and my sister said, Dad, you don't smoke. He goes, are you serious? All this time I thought I smoked. Okay, well, I guess I don't smoke. And he never asked for a cigarette again. That was it, like, because he was in the throes of dementia. Well, you know. So
what a way to quit. Let's just make him forget.
It was get dementia.
Yeah, or hypnotism. You forgot.
Oh,
that
I
you smoked.
resist and it didn't work. I paid $45 and came out, and I right away wanted a cigarette. So I just canceled the check. I went to the bank and I said, this check is canceled.
That's hilarious.
I went
I
to
know a
Jim.
little bit for that story right there.
You're gonna use that in your ACTAS?
That's hilarious. That's very, very funny. At $45, I didn't quit, so I took on the way to the bank to cancel the check. I had a smoke.
Remember Jim and Vine, Mark?
Yes, I do. I do.
And Robin says I
I'm
quit when
telling
Mick
you
was
that-
1.5 years old, and Mick started when he was 1.5. So there you go.
No. My dad. That's my father. He
Oh,
quit smoking when my brother Mickey was a year and a half.
oh, okay. That's awesome.
Mickey's 2 years younger than me.
So you were already smoking for 3.5 years by then, Mark.
Yeah, something like that. No, my Mickey's birthday is the day that the inauguration is, on the 20th of January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's basically 23 months younger than me because I'm February. No, I guess that would be 25 months because I'm February 20th. Or is it 23 months? No, 23 months. Yeah.
You're not doing my taxes anymore. That's what I'm
No,
telling
God,
you right
no.
now with your math ability there.
He was born January 20th. You were born February 20th.
That's correct. 23 months apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got one more brother, Stevie, who's 6 years younger than me. And then I've got a half brother who's just turned 30. I want to say.
Oh, I have 2 boys. I always say I have a 13-year-old and a 26-year-old because I'm really good at relationships.
Oh yeah, you have an older brother, an older son, right?
I do. I have a 26-year-old. He's a wee bit of a monster as well. My boy.
Oh yeah. Is he a big? Have I met him?
Yeah, you met him. We came in one time to get parts for the trailer there.
Yeah,
That
he was the young man that was with you at
Yeah.
GNR Camping World.
Yep. And then my youngest one he's not as thick as my youngest one. My youngest one's a side of beef with a good haircut, right? He's a big boy. Yep.
Well, maybe we'll have him on the show with you one day.
Yeah, for sure. He's totally into that. Yep.
Wonderful. Well, Mom, I'm going to say goodnight to you.
Okay.
Love you, Mom.
Love you too.
Well, I love you too, but you guys don't have to think. That's all. Bye.
There you
Everybody. I love both of you.
Oh, Taz, thank you so much for being a part of this with me tonight.
Well, this went better than all of us thought it was going to.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, no, it's do you have siblings?
I do. I have a sister that's about 15 years older than me, and I have a sister that's 5 years younger than I am.
Okay, so you're in the middle of the two.
I am. You know what? I always say my parents wanted me to be an only child, but they had my sisters as first. So
Oh. Me, I am the oldest of my entire generation. My mother, on my mother's side, she was the first to have a child, so I'm the oldest. And then on my dad's side, I've only got two cousins, which are both younger than me. So I am the oldest in the entire generation. So I'm kind of like the test model. Everything I do, they don't.
Yeah.
If it kills me, they stay away. If I stay alive, hey, but why not? He lived through it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I wasn't the oldest sibling or cousin, but I was one of the oldest ones. So I was the everything from the babysitter to the jungle gym to the boxing coach to everything. I was with I was everything to my cousins at one point in time.
You ever have to
I miss those days. Mike. Say again?
You ever have to babysit?
Oh, I used to have to babysit like a half dozen cousins at each city. And my auntie Velma had a set of twins, and then another. So they had a girl, and then a boy, and then another girl, and then a set of twins. So there's 5 that I babysat in that family, and then there's I was the oldest in that group. So sometimes there were 10 or so kids that I was babysitting, including my sister in that. Yeah.
Well, I used to have to babysit my younger brothers.
Yeah.
And my dad had bought a house out, like we were at the outskirts of Calgary. So it took a while before my parents would get home. So I'd have to babysit till like 7, right? And we had our chores to do. And my mom or my father, usually my mom would tell us what we needed to do. And I can remember telling Steven, my youngest brother, you need to do this. And I was about 16 or something like that. So I made him about 10. And I told him whatever he had to do. And he no, I'm not doing it. So I got mad at him. We got into an argument. I dragged his little ass up the stairs and threw him in his bedroom. I said, you can deal with mom and dad when they get home. And he got mad at me. And I threw him right onto his bed. And he reeled back and he kicked at the wall with both feet. He put his feet right through his wall and into my bedroom.
Oh, my gosh.
And so I just looked at him. And I said, you get this deal with dad when he gets home. I'm not telling him what you did. I just went down the stairs. That's one of my 2 favorite stories with him. The other one is that we used to live, right on the corner. There was a house on the corner, and then there was ours. And there was a boy the same age as Steven there, and he was picking on Steven, and I guess hit him or did something. Steven came in, he was all upset. So Mickey was the brawler out of the 2 of us. I was not. I got picked on like you wouldn't believe. My brother Mickey, he was a brawler. People were scared of that guy because he's built like a brick shit house, even as a kid. And Mickey and I looked at each other.
That's your younger brother, right?
Yeah, they're both younger than me.
Yeah, but I'm saying Mickey is the youngest of them all, or
no? Mickey's the second one down.
Okay, yeah.
Steven is the youngest.
Yeah.
So Mickey looks at me. I look at Mickey, and we both said it at the same time. You need to beat the kid up. And he goes, what? And he says, you got a choice. You either beat this kid up, or we're going to beat you up.
Yeah,
So
that seems like a good choice to give your kid.
Yeah. So
Your brother?
Steven went outside, squared off with this kid who's the same age as him,
Yeah.
crying while he's beating the crap out of the kid.
Oh my god.
He's bawling and he's beating the crap out of the kid. And so Mickey and I just said, "Good for you." We walked inside.
I remember I used to babysit my sister all the time, Mel, and my sister Mel is it. You think I'm a bunch to handle? Wait till she loses her temper. Holy crap! So I'm supposed to be watching her, and we're playing hide and go seek at a place called the Forestry Farm in Saskatoon, which is just a great big. It's a big park with a zoo in it and stuff, and play structures, and just a lovely sort of. If you're a kid, it's just paradise, right? So she's supposed to hide, and I get talking to friends, and then I got to find my sister, right? So I'm walking along, I'm looking around, I can't find her anywhere, and I hear Timmy. My real name's Tim. Timmy, you're not gonna find me, and I'm like, what? Looking around, I hear Timmy, and I realize after about 4 or 5 minutes. It's coming from above me. And I look up, and she'd climbed so high. Now there's trees, and the branches grew out like little rungs of a ladder. And she was so far up there, I just saw the bottom of her shoes. She was like this big up in this tree. Timmy. Oh, wow. I said, you got to come down now. Okay, I probably just jump. No, you can't just jump. You got to walk.
Timmy, catch me.
Catch me. I remember another time I got mad at my sister, and I don't remember what I threw something at her, and it was like, I don't know if it was a frisbee or a plate, or it was something that flies like a frisbee anyway. And I winged it like this, and we were supposed to just and it went like that, and it went way up in the air, and it hit. We had this giant mirror on the side of the on the wall, and it hit this mirror, and that mirror broke into like 100 pieces. So we're like, we both realized we're in trouble, right? We get home, and I said, oh, and I just was like, oh, we're in so much trouble, and my dad had a pretty good temper, my mom too. So I get home, and I wait for them to come in, and we've cleaned everything up, and my mom comes in, and she doesn't say very much, and she says, "Do you have something to tell me?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I broke the mirror." She stops. She goes, "You broke the mirror?" I said, "Yeah, I broke the mirror." She goes, "You broke the mirror?" I said, "Yeah, I broke the mirror." I said, "I threw whatever it was, and I hit the mirror, and I broke the mirror." She goes, "Well, Missy just told me," that's my sister, "Missy just told me that she broke the mirror." See, my sister didn't want me to get a whooping.
Oh,
so she said that she broke the mirror.
That's sweet.
And I looked at my mom right in the eyes and said, "She broke the mirror."
Oh my God, that's cruel.
No, we had to earn a new mirror, but we had to pay for the mirror and stuff. But it was that was my sister taking, and she's taken care of me many times throughout my life. So
my brother Mickey and I were down in the basement. We were kids. I was probably about 9. He was about 7, and my dad plays darts, and so he bought one of those dart boards. And remember the ones that came with that little brass tip with the big red and green flights? Well, my dad had real darts, so he'd take those away, put them aside.
Yeah.
So my brother Mickey and we grabbed them. I grabbed one color, he grabbed the other color. We stood back to back and started walking away from each other.
Yeah.
Turned, and I threw, and he didn't throw. He lifted up, he went like this, and he lifted up his knee, and it went right under his kneecap.
Oh my God.
He just drops the darts. He runs up, he hobbles up the stairs and says, Mommy, Mark threw a dart at me. He does not say that he was part of it.
Yeah.
He just, and this is kind of the way he my dad bought us a sled, not a toboggan, an actual sled with the runners. Yeah. And it had a metal bar on the front so you could pull the kids behind.
Yeah.
So my dad didn't want us to have that metal bar on there because if we were going down, it's something, you know.
Yeah.
So he took that off and put a leather strap on it. My brother found it, and he comes walking into the bedroom one day. He goes, "Mark, guess who I am?" I said, "Mickey." He goes, "El Kabong!" Wonk!
Oh my gosh.
Split my head open.
Oh my gosh.
I was in my little blue pajamas, had to go to the hospital. They sewed me up. When I got back, my dad's actually got Super 8 film of that night after me trying to do a headstand, but I've got a big pillow on the ground to protect my head. But I mean, this is the kind of stuff my brothers and I grew up doing, right? He clobbered me with that, and oh my God, it was terrible. Oh, what you writing there?
Just the thing that your mom said about the $45.
Oh. Oh, it's going to become part of your act.
I just love that. I went and I canceled the check. Well, buddy, you know what? We've been talking for almost 2 hours. We should probably wrap this up and see what's going on. I think you shut your mic off, pal.
I don't know how I did that, but I did. So yeah, no, we have been talking for a while. My dad says, "I see Taz found John's beard." Oh,
We're just laying around. I thought I'd put it on, and away we go.
did you happen to watch our New Year's show at all?
No, I might have caught a little bit of it, but I know that no, you know, we had a New Year's show that's
Oh
what it
yes,
was.
that's right. Well, it became like the family show. I had my
Yeah.
brother Steven on,
Yeah.
and my mother was there. I had my father on, and we had John's children on.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Brittany and Christopher used to be right on each one of my shoulders, and I'd carry them around. I used to live with John when they were wee babies.
He's got great kids. He's got great kids.
They're honestly great kids.
Yeah. So all right, well, Taz, thank you so much for being a part of this. Can't
No
wait to
problem.
do this again with you.
Oh,
And,
yeah, I'll call in any old time, man.
oh, right on. Yeah, you're always welcome on our show. Always, always, always.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me yak a bit and meet the guests and meet your mama bear, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me be your friend.
Well, there's an invoice coming.
I'm sure. And then I'll go and I'll cancel the check.
Oh, perfect. That'll be it. It's still the same $45, pal.
Yeah, right on. All right. To everybody, thank you so much for being part of Now What? And we will see you in 1 week. Remember to watch us on Shaw. It's still showing the first episode, but the other ones are coming. Shaw at 11 p.m. and at 2 a.m. It's the same show, but you can watch it twice if you like.
And if you got kids, please follow me at Taz Norris on Facebook, and you can sign up for that every night at 7:30. And Winnipeg Time, I read to kids. There's over 300 episodes under Tazzy Reads now on YouTube, and you can follow me and what's left of my career at Big Daddy Taz with 2Zs.com. Lots of love to everybody.
I think
And
I said
as
that
I say with every one of the kids, in a
There we
world
go.
where you can choose to be anything that you want, why not choose to be kind?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you next week.